Hey guys, my name is Yohan, and welcome to my channel, YoFrags. Thank you all for being here with me, and today we will be talking about Orto Parisi Bergamask. As you guys know, I've talked about this in my top 4 summer niche fragrances. There were a lot of runner-ups, and I think honorable mentions. Like, honestly, I could have made that list twice as long with how many good summer niche fragrances there are. So I do plan on making more and talking more about the ones that I did not include in the list, which I felt, they could have easily have taken, 1, 2, 3, in my opinion, right? But regardless, I don't want to take too much attention away from this amazing, beautiful scent. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this was number 3 in my list. And honestly, those top 3 at least could have definitely been interchangeable. I will say, out of my top 3 in that video, from Roja Oceania, Nishane Wulong Cha, and this, between those 3, this has gotten me the most amount of compliments. To me, this is the most unique scent out of those 3. But to give it credit, right, those 3 fragrances all really do a lot of different things. But this one, it's special. I'm not gonna lie, if you guys haven't gotten your nose on it, highly recommend doing so. In the top notes here, we have bergamot, lemon. In the mid, lavender, orange blossom, and lily of the valley. The base notes are musk, cedar, and tonka. For me, honestly, the only things that I get from this fragrance, at least off my skin, is citrus, musk. That is the most 2 dominant notes that you will get just from the get-go. It does smooth out later in the formula, or later in the life of the fragrance. I think the cedar and the tonka do a really good job smoothing out those sharp edges that the bergamot and lemon bring. And the lavender, orange blossom, lily of the valley, it does help kind of transition from those sharp notes into a more floral cleanliness, a little green as well. But it's one of those things where all like the top, mid, and base, they really honestly kind of just are blended so well together. Like, you'll just catch whiffs of all of them throughout the life of the fragrance. Presentation wise, as you guys know, I love my presentation. I think this bottle is so beautiful. When I first bought this fragrance, I didn't even know that this was the presentation. Like, I didn't know it had the wood grain. I didn't know it was kind of like a copper brass like cap. It's just and obviously the scent is, it's so good. The box is honestly very unique. I think the most unique presentation that I've seen, at least in terms of the creativity that they do. We have some really nice detailing, just the classic Orto Parisi. We have some nice drawings. We have languages and the warnings. We have the kind of overall brand of the house. And then we have the ingredients. But also, nice little identity there too. But when you open up the fragrance, it just kind of blossoms, and it's so cool. Like, the fragrance will just be sitting like right here as it opens up like that. I think that's really cool. Maybe some people might think that's a little gimmicky, but I love it. And if you're one of those people who are like me and can appreciate something creative, something fun, something a little different, then I think you would also love it. But, right, most important thing I always say is the juice. Look at that color though. Oof. It is a beast mode fragrance. I know I touched on this, and I don't know why I use such weird word choicing. I was like, up the yazoo or the wazoo. I apologize. Future me apologizes for my past or present me. But projection wise, longevity, beast mode. On my skin, honestly, this lasts 24 hours. And I'll still catch whiffs of it in the shower the next morning. 4 sprays is more than enough. honestly, I think you could get away with like two. I remember I accidentally forgot what fragrance I was spraying, and I sprayed like, I think it was five or six, and I actually had to rub it off. Like, it was that overpowering. It was like choking me out. It was giving me a little bit of a headache. Excuse me. Yeah, the sweet spot for me is four. Like, just one on the wrist, one on each side of my neck, and one on the back of my neck. But this thing is a room filler. Like, yeah, definitely have to be careful because it can choke you guys out. Be mindful about where you wear this. You know, if you know you're going to be in a closed small room or a closed off area, I would say try not to spray more than like 2 or 3 times. If you're going to be out and about, I think 4 times is more than enough for that. It'll last you all day, especially if there's a nice breeze. The compliments that I got from this was all when I was outside, slight breeze, and people would just come up to me and say like, hey, like, you smell really good, what are you wearing? And it was, honestly, I didn't expect that kind of reaction from this, but I think the musk and the way it plays off people's skin chemistry, I think, at least for me, I think it just works really well. It's strong, it's long lasting. For me, it's a compliment getter. I think it's perfect for hot summer days. Again, right? Careful on the sprays, because even in those, like, especially on the hot summer days, you know, the more it gets hot out and it heats up, the more your fragrance is really going to come to life and push off your skin. So it can choke you out. I do have to say, be careful. Seasons wise, I mean, anytime, summer, spring, ideally, preferably outside, I would say. I think it is office safe. You just have to be very, very, very mindful of how many times you spray it. I can see it working in the fall and maybe winter. At least for me, I know when people think winter scents, right? We always go to like the ouds, the darker scents, the tobacco, the honey, sweet, vanillic, you know, all that good stuff. I love those kind of scents. But I think citrus is such an uplifting note, and citrus scents are just very uplifting in general. And for me, you know, where I live, and yeah, it's gray out a lot of the times, you know, and I don't know, I personally like wearing citrus scents in the winter because I can use a little bit of some uplifting tones, you know. I think it really works well, and if you pair it, you know, with what you're wearing and kind of work around that, I think it's really nice, especially with like in the rare blue moon in my area when it gets nice and bright out, but it's still like nice chill, like maybe like 15 degrees out, but the sun's out. I think this is perfect for that. I love the way it works off my skin. Again, right, I would say with fragrances like these, definitely want to test it. Orto Parisi, that brand itself, I would say it's like truly niche, where this is a very safe, I would say this is a very safe fragrance, this and Brutus. But all their other offerings, honestly, like, it's definitely not for the faint of heart. I have Bolcanera and I think Verini, or I forgot the name specifically off the top of my head. But yeah, those are definitely more challenging. And I can't just kind of spray them whenever to test it. I genuinely believe like I have to be in the right season and the right time to actually really appropriately give them a good testing and a good wearing. Specifically like Bolcanera. But if you want to try Bergamask, I think it's their safest blind buy option. I would always recommend getting a decant. I got a decant and I fell in love with it immediately. This was sold out pretty much from all the discounters that I frequent, and then it finally came in stock and I bought it right up, and no regrets. Like, this thing is such a beauty. I don't have too much of a dent in it right now. I think I've used this bottle like twice because I used up all of my juice from the decant. So now that I used that up, I gotta wear this. But again, you can't go wrong. It is such a powerful, uplifting, and captivating scent. I really think, if this works well off your skin and your skin chemistry, I think this can easily be your most complimented fragrance. But again, as I say in every video, these are all my opinions. Take it with a grain of salt. Please try before you buy. Come to that conclusion for yourself on whether or not this will work for you or this will offer what you're looking for. But thank you so much for joining me today. Have a good rest of your day. Stay safe, and God bless.